I got into rowing through the fact that I quit volleyball. It was really stressing me out and I was having some hard times with it. And Zoe Holston actually rows, and so I had an inside joke with her that I would join rowing, and then I talked about it to my parents, and then they said, oh well, why don't you try it? So I tried it and I loved it. I row with Westerville Crew and they meet at Hoover Reservoir. I row for fun. I do want to do it in college, but I really just row because it's really good exercise, and I have a lot of friends in it. I've made so many friends, so I just want to keep continuing to do that, and it's kind of become my passion. The most challenging aspect of rowing for me is my technique. I have a lot of trouble keeping my handle height at the same height with my oar. And I can easily get the power, and then working together is kind of hard for me too, because sometimes all you want to do is just overtake the other people in the boat and use all your power, but you have to learn to balance out the power equally and work together. So the dangers that are involved in rowing are you can hit other boats. So if we're in the cove at Hoover, and there's a boat crossing actually out on Hoover, and we're doing a race piece or something, you can easily collide with them. There's also the danger of flipping. It's not common in a 4-boat or a 2-person boat. You can flip easily. You just have to make sure you're balanced and set. And some ways that we can avoid it is our coaches have walkie-talkies, so they are always in communication with each other of where boats are at and what we're doing in the cove or on the water. So we're always very cautious of where we're at on the water. And then as far as flipping is concerned, it's hard to prevent it, but so far we haven't flipped, and you just kind of have to stay balanced and keep your technique really well so you don't flip. When I'm off the water preparing for a regatta, I try to listen to music or just focus in on what I want to do, my personal goals for that regatta, what my personal goals for the race ahead. I don't really focus on other races that are going on around me or the races that I might have later on that day. I just try to focus on the next task in front of me. So if that means I have to go off by myself and have quiet time and maybe reflect and pray a little bit about how I'm going to finish the race or how I'm going to do in the race, that helps me a lot. Also, I talk to my teammates. We make race strategies, and that helps us a lot. And then constant communication with your coxswain helps the most, because she's going to tell you the race plan and everything, so you can get it in your head and get set before the race. So at a regatta, the scoring works by, there's officials on the boat next to you, and each time you mess up, it counts off, it goes by meters. So it counts off, if you hit another boat, you get a certain amount of meters tacked off your race. And that also adds time to your race, since they are mainly timed. And if you have a delayed start, that affects your time also and your meters. So yeah. So the classes and events that I do, I row in a 4-person boat, and then I row in an 8-person boat, and those are 2,000 meters. And then in the fall, we row 5,000 meters. So maintaining the boats off the water, we constantly have to clean them and make sure that the insides are cleaned and that the slides are scrubbed down so you're not getting stuck and falling off your seat during a race. We also have to make sure the riggers are held on tightly so then our oars don't fall out. We keep them up on racks, and sometimes we do wrap certain boats so then they're not damaged by weather. And then in winter seasons, we put them into a shed area that keeps them out of colder weather so then they don't freeze.